Hey, Justin here. Season's greetings. Hope that you're having a wonderful festive season with your family. And so this is the last episode for this year. And a couple of things have come into bloom the last couple of weeks, which I'd like to show you as we head into the Christmas holidays. And this first one is a rather large Paphiopedilum Baron Komura. It's kind of interesting history on this one, registered in 1922. It's Rothschildianum by question mark, so quite unusual to have a hybrid in the RHS register which has question mark as one of the parents, but I suspect it's probably villosum, judging by the patterning on the sepals there. That's quite characteristic of villosum. And for comparison, I do actually have villosum, one of the subspecies of villosum in flower, so we can compare that. This is villosum lycauense, so you can see that it's quite a similar sort of pattern. But if we put this one up next to the other one, you'll see the difference in size. Much smaller plant. It's a bit hard to hold everything in one hand, but that gives you an idea of the relative scale that Rothschildianum brings to the table. And apart from that, got a couple of other nice things in bloom. So this little Sologeny, well, it used to be Dendrochilum, in bloom. I'm not sure what the species name is. Might be Filiforme or something like that. And this one does well in little pots. I like it to keep them in little pots like that. So these ones, for some reason, opening up much later, must have had less sun, or I'm not sure, slightly different position outdoors in the summer, and they're not open yet, but it is all the same plant which I divided up. So that's always a really nice one at Christmas. And got a couple of nice fells here as well. A more recent purchase, both of these. So the one on the left is Jennifer Palermo, which is a primary hybrid of Violacea indigo and you have to get the tag out, Tetraspis purple. Yeah, you can see the Tetraspis influence there. And this one on the right is Yapon. So I've got a bit of a cold, so a bit of a croaky voice. Yapo Yellow Bomb Wilson. It's a clone. Pretty nice. Lots of Amboinensis in this one. It's like 75% Amboinensis. Decided to get this hybrid instead of the Amboinensis flava, in the hope that it's going to be a bit easier to grow. So two nice Phalaenopsis there. And another interesting one as well. So we've got this Dendrobium here, which had for a number of years, just from the garden centre, so nothing that special really. But next to it is this Phragmipedium with rather long sepals, and it's got a third bud there as well. So this was one, I think it was from Schwerter, and that label, don't pay any attention to that because it's completely wrong. So from Schwerter last year. So if you watch my other episodes, you might notice that a lot of the paths from Schwerter are mislabeled. So this one's a frag, also mislabeled. So seems to be a kind of a recurring theme there with them, unfortunately. But nothing wrong with the plants. The plants are fine. They're just not correctly labelled. So this is a really beautiful plant. But so Wen is actually 75% bouquet, so it would be completely different to this. This is some kind of one of the long petal varieties, maybe a hybrid. I think it's probably a hybrid. It's probably Grandi or something like that. Getting a bit of Piercii vibes in there. Cordatum by Piercii would be my guess, but if you know, if you've got an idea, let me know. But very vigorous plant. It's grown really well for me, and I've never flowered one of these long petal frags before, so actually I'm kind of happy with it. I wouldn't have been happy if I already had it, and they sent me this instead, but as it turns out, that's fortuitous and something which I can enjoy. So looking back on the year 2025 coming to a close, what have I learnt this year? I think it's a good moment to take some reflection. Every year there are new things to be learnt, and so I've been growing these phals for probably about 5 years in greater numbers, and one of my conclusions is that especially with these novelty phals, they are a bit more sensitive to light, so I think I was growing them a bit too bright, and that does tend to stress them out a bit, and they get very susceptible for mealybugs. So I really had an outbreak of mealybugs this year, which was really difficult to get under control. And I guess that's another lesson learnt this year, is that those sprays which you get at the garden centre these days are really very limited in their effect. They're contact sprays, they're not systemic. In the EU you can't, there's very little in the way of systemic insecticides available. So you need to look at alternative approaches. So I've started using neem oil. It's probably not the solution on its own, but maybe it's part of the solution together with other measures. Rubbing the plants off with alcohol is, sorry, not the plants, but the insects with alcohol spray is another way of getting them under control. Just as effective as the insecticide spray and less toxic, so maybe even more effective. So that's another thing which I learned this year and started applying. So that together with neem oil, and the other one is there are these sanium sticks which you can get in the EU and put into the pot, into the potting mix, and that will have a systemic working. It is an insecticide, it's not biological. But I'm hoping that the combination of those three things together might help me to get them better under control next year. So some of, when I did the virus testing recently, and some of the phals were virused, and I do believe that one of the ways that the virus spreads is through these mealybugs, spreading it from plant to plant. So that's definitely something which I really am hoping to stamp out of my collection. It's been getting worse and worse each year, and this year it was just really, well, the Dutch say dweilen met de kraan open, so mopping with the tap open, basically. They're just, you get rid of them, but they're reproducing faster than you can get rid of them. So, and those contact sprays really are not very effective. So stronger measures are called for, and but I really don't want to go, well, it's not even an option like in Florida or whatever, where all of those really powerful chemicals are available for home use. In the EU, that's really not possible. Those insecticides are all forbidden. So that is what it is, and to be honest, I agree with it. I don't have a problem with it. I think it's good to look at different approaches. So yeah, that will be something which I will be trying out next year. That sums it up, I think. That's pretty much everything I want to say and show. Yeah, so have a nice holiday season, and we'll catch you in the new year. Thanks. Bye.